Hey everyone, Jamie Pate here. Of course, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. Welcome to another look inside this year's gratitude journal. We are going to take some time and kind of what I guess we could call a traditional scrapbook layout is what I am feeling for this next layout that I want to share with you. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, to start out with this edition of this journal that I've been working in for most of the month of November, I have a spread here that I didn't share anywhere. I just want to chat about it for half a moment. And it's kind of a sort of a traditional scrapbook page, if you will. This side is all the embellishments, and I'm back in with the Plum Grove from 49 and Market. I'm still loving it, and we're going to use it again today for the most part. And then over here was a photo, and this isn't a photo of right now. This is a photo, though, that I told you, I believe in my last video, that I was going to use the 6x8 rub-ons for some prompts. And this one says, "Love my family." So I was going to find like a real proper family photo, but this one's like how we really actually are when we are doing a photo shoot. So I thought this was fun. And then I made a liftable here, and all the journaling is inside. As I keep trying to open this page, I'm having difficulty here. And all the journaling is inside on a die cut piece of paper. And then the date was stamped for when I wrote the journaling. And then another cluster up here of the 49 and Market ephemera and laser cuts and some rub-ons. So that was a fun page to add in here. Actually, I do have, let me see. I do have another page in here that I have inserted since I was last in here. And this one I have to get kind of close. This is all, well, the background is made with Distress Oxides, but then this is Heidi Swap November Stamp Society, and then also some floral dies that she has now on her site. And then this Thankful has been in her shop for a little while, and I kept it in the page. I just wanted it to emphasize exactly what this journal is. And this is a gratitude journal. So that was a fun thing to add in here, and I forgot I had added it, so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so today you can see I have on my workspace fresh off the printer photos of my now 9-month grandchild. And I accidentally printed a black and white. Didn't totally mean to do that, but I might be glad I did, because the colors that I wanted to work with, while her dress is perfect, her blue socks are not perfect. I mean, I could kind of cover that up, or I could have come in here and cropped her better, but this is us just going for it. And I'm going to go ahead and use this black and white. It's actually gray and white. It's not terribly black, but it's still really pretty. And so the idea I have today is I have this basil paper. It's actually vanilla, but it plays really nicely with the colors here that are part of Plum Grove 49 Market. So now I'm going to heed the advice of my good friend who last time I was working on this page was a little concerned about how I was not a very careful crafter with my cutter. And so I'm going to be very mindful this time to not cause her any anxiety. I'm going to stay very clear of my cutter and not get cut. So I want to make sure that this is actually supposed to be the 4 inches wide that I think it is. So I'm grabbing my ruler here, and it's actually 4.5. See, measure twice, cut once. I do want it to be the same size as the page that I already have in here. So I'm cutting this basil paper to 4.5 by 7. And before I punch the holes in here, I am going to grab the pattern paper that I'm going to use. This is part of the 6x8 patterns. Beautiful colors on this side, but I'm going to stay with the subtles because I just think I like that whole subtle play. Even though this is sort of a fallish album, this is what I'm going to work with here. So I like this text up here in the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here. Whoops, we better move our cutter out of the way. Don't let the cutter get you. I'm going to go ahead and trim this to 4.5, and then we'll trim it down here at 7. Being always careful of our craft knives. This is a dangerous hobby, my friends. We have to be careful of the sharp objects. See, everything you needed to know, you actually really did learn in kindergarten. So I'm going to move the cutter out of the way. I think I'm done with it for now. And I am going to then, at this point, put these together. I know I don't know if you can tell, I have a little dent here in my paper, but I think my photo's gonna cover it, so I'm not really worried about it. I'm gonna pull this guy out of here and make my marks so I can punch these out. Now, in one of the first videos that I did, I shared the page die that is part of the Elizabeth Craft design collection for these planners. But this paper is bigger than what that die is, and I might go back to that die. I mean, I have it if ever I want to, but for today, I want to keep this at the 4.5 and 7. And basically, you can print, well, I print at home. I get that question a lot. I print at home. I use my Canon. And I could have printed, I'm having difficulties here. Fine, there you go. I could have printed this photo smaller, but I went with the 3x4, and that's the same size as I did this photo here. That was a 3x4. I think my border is a little bit slimmer on that one. So that's the story behind that, of keeping these pages a little bigger. Now I'm not going to put it in my planner right now. Journal planner. It's officially called a journal, but it's actually a planner. I mean, it's officially called a planner. Let's get it straight. It's officially called a planner, but it is my journal. So she's going to go there. Let's go ahead and work on this side of the page for a minute. Now, one of the things I'm going to employ, you might see these here on my desk, and this is not new to any of us, but I have several of these cut already. I have used a combination of the mixed metals and then this roses paper, and then I used the Sprigs dies. I have used these a lot. I have linked these here multiple times in the past. This is just a great go-to die set. So most of these are Sprigs, but there is also a brand new, and I'm looking for it. Yeah, here it is. There's also a brand new set called Delicate Leaves. And so I have employed some of the Delicate Leaves. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I'm not finding it. Oh, here it is. It's not in here. It's this one here. Recently on my Instagram feed, I posted some tags with some floral clusters. I'm basically doing that again here today. I'm going to show you basically how that came to play, but I'm going to do it on a layout page. So the next thing I was going to do, now I have my little gizmo in here for cutting. I don't think that really actually works for me. I'm just saying. I wanted to make a foundation. Oops, you can't really rip that. You have to cut it. That's why they give you a cutter, but here's the other thing. You got to have some really sharp scissors too. And probably what would be, I don't know, you guys can tell me. I'm not a real sewer. I'm a paper sewer, but I do have scissors in the house that are fabric only. And all the occupants of the house know they are fabric only. So I should probably heed my own medicine here. But I'm thinking if I used fabric only scissors for this, I think the adhesive might be a nuisance. I don't know. It would be kind of fun with the fabric paper to be able to just rip it, because I wouldn't mind that ripped edge, but I've not found it to be rip friendly. So it's just not gonna do that. Okay, so then over here I have pulled a couple of items out for myself already. Like I said, I already have these guys. Now I'm going to want to add a cluster over here, but it can't be, I don't want this side to be heavily clustered. And while I'm thinking about it, I also wanted this little tab to be part of my page. So before I actually adhere it to the other page in my journal, I'm going to go ahead and staple this on, and then that's just going to be plain in between. So to continue with this, I want to probably go ahead and grabbing my adhesive here and my scissors that I like to cut my adhesive with, and that's these Tim Holtz. They have a bit of a non-stick surface to them, so I prefer to cut my adhesives with that. I know, I say this, I'm pretty sure I want her right here, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere her down. So that I do know. And then I also know that in my cluster here, these guys are going to be too long. So my little go-to here is to just go ahead and start layering some of these elements in here. And I am also, and I'm not going to glue them down yet, but, and this, like I said, this side doesn't need a whole bunch. And I love this leaf here, and these middles usually can come out. I don't know if they're going to come out today, but I love these leaves as separate little leaves to just add some little tucks here and there. And I'll probably use that again once I get these guys in place. And I'm probably going to put this maybe there. I tore that off at a place that you can see. So I'm going to come in here and trim that, and it doesn't look like I've trimmed it. So that's pretty cool. Now I had a chipboard heart hanging around here, and I'm not sure where it went. Okay, diving in my chipboard here. I love the Love You Most. There's several hearts that are in here. I'm going to just set them here for now. I'm not quite sure how they're going to play out yet. So I'm going to just get all this clustered up right here. Probably just even going to go ahead and fast forward this because you kind of have the idea of what I'm doing here. And now it's just a matter of getting it all into play. Let this rest for now. Do you do that with your layouts? Do you put some things on there and then you're like, okay, I'm just going to kind of let that rest? I could probably add in some rub-ons, and I still might do that, but for now, I love my clusters. I love how just these different colors are just kind of playing together. So now we've already cut this page over here, right? I'm just going to work it also on the surface as it is. And this is where the tags that I've been making lately, like clustered floral tags, for lack of a better name. I mean, I'm open to names if you got a better name for me. what I'm going to do here next is really, really where that comes from. So, you know, I've been cutting a lot of the 6x8 paper down, right, to make these 4.5 by 7 inch papers, right? So I have a lot of these strips left, and I've been trying to employ them because, you know, let no good paper ever go to waste, people. And don't hoard it either. Do we have a hoarding problem out there? Can I see a raise of hands if we have hoarding problems? Because we got to stop with the hoarding. Do I get an amen? I mean, I have talked to several of you, and you just talk about how much you love the paper, and you know what? Then do something with it. And if you are of the mindset, well, I don't want to just put it in an album because then it gets hidden. Okay, well, I have 2 answers for that. The first answer is don't hide it in an album. Put it on a wall and start a cluster of your layouts on a wall. Okay, there's an idea for you. And again, with my handy dandy stapler, just going to get my little notched banner here in place. Okay, then I have part of the, what's it called? Plum Grove ephemera. There's these tickets that come inside these frames, and I was getting ready to throw away the frames. Can you hear how excited I get? I just get so excited here. And I was going to throw these away, and then I'm like, no, let's find a way to use them. So that's what we're doing right now. I am grabbing these handy dandy 1/8 strips, which really do come in handy fairly often. Always happy and glad for that. And they just, especially if you're like getting these frames in wanting to get them onto a surface. So I'm going to lay this down next, and then, and you know what? Take that back. I need this to be open here at this end. So I'm just going to cut this one in half, and then I'm going to elevate the sides and the top, but not the lower part of this frame. Make sure that doesn't show. That's why I like this 1/8 size. I mean, you can, this guy here, you can customize him. It's a little on the tricky side to get that at 1/8 inch, so I will tell you. Okay, one other thing I've already done, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I need to do this next. I have these DIY tall skinny pockets, and I really love these guys as well. I'm going to make a little note here. I've already cut this, and I use the same basil paper as I did use on that layout. And yeah, this is definitely gonna need some rub-ons. See what happens when you let something sit up and percolate? You get your ideas, or you become confirmed in your ideas. You're like, no, actually, I really do want to add and fill in the blank. And so it's never wrong to let your layouts percolate. I actually want this to come underneath here because this is where I'm going to add a little bit of journaling. And so I'm grabbing another double-sided adhesive here. This is the 1/8 inch, and this is my go-to size for getting these pocket flaps adhered to a page. So let me just do this really quick because I'd rather have this in place and not have to try to put this underneath everything I'm getting ready to add to this cluster of embellishments here. So that's why I said, wait a minute, and I just wanted to go ahead and have everything cut up, but I do need to make a little point, and I've said this before. With these kinds of dies, obviously there's a score line, right? That's how I was able to fold this, was on the score line. And so just a note too, I want you to know what I'm doing here is, so I have my frame right here. Me personally, I don't want my envelope right there. I want to juxtaposition it. I want to offset it. That's a better term. And I don't even mind that it's kind of sticking out here on the other side. That actually kind of works for me. So my point was about the dies that also have the score is to use the magic mat to cut that. The score, and I think I even talked about this in the last video that I did. The score, actually, you know what? I'm a crazy person. This goes like this because I'm actually tucking these guys back up into here. Stay on track here, Jame. Focus, girl, focus. So the Magic Mat helps to make those scores, actual scores, and not cuts. Sometimes our cutting machines can be a little aggressive, and we can cut through the score when we really don't want that to happen. Okay, so here is really the last bit that I'm going to share with you today, because this is just about making a decision and making it work. You really don't want to overthink this. And I could, but think of this. I love to buy flowers. I love to find the flowers that might not look as best as they possibly could. They might be a little on the end of their best of time. And so then what I do is I bring them home. I get them all trimmed up real good. I put them in that special flower water that they send those packets with you. And but the important part is that they're trimmed so they can get all that water in them. But then I just have fun arranging. And same thing, I don't overthink it. I just enjoy the simplicity of arranging the flowers. And this to me is no different. I'm just arranging flowers here. That is all I'm doing, layering and tucking. And I think I'm going to add an element up here. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be this Be Happy one. It could go either way, but I might have to be at the top to kind of help cover maybe where some things are sticking out a bit. Let's see here. What else do we want? That's too heavy. I didn't go in and I didn't take out my middles. And to me, that's too heavy. So I'm going to cut this guy up and tuck him here. Now, true confession. What I really, really love to do is to use hot glue when I do this technique. That is my actual love language right there, is the hot glue. I'm not using the hot glue today, but I don't know. There's just some weird thing with me and the glue like that. But I won't. Okay, how about right here? Yeah, we're going to go there. I'm just kind of pushing it down a little bit. And then I thought I was going to do one more leaf. Yeah, I'm going to do this one more leaf here, and I'm going to have this one tucked. There we go. That's it. That's it. And see, the more you do this, the better you get. You just have to kind of practice at this. And so that's all I've done over the years is just practice. I've been doing this kind of technique for a long time. I sort of feel like I've just discovered it again. And I think it's because of these florals and the die cuts that are part of this 49 and Market. Now, would you do that? Oh, heck yes. Heck yes. We are doing that. Almost done. This whole entire page is almost done. And I have done this in real time today. And I really didn't too much overthink it when I was starting it. I had an idea. But just the point is, especially when you're working on these 4.5 by 7-inch pages, it just doesn't take a lot of time to get them into place. I love that. Now, what I won't do right now is put in the journaling. I will do that at another time. So except for the journaling, this is almost complete. Now, this little guy, this little butterfly, I mean, he's just screaming for the hot glue. That would just, he's still exposed. Can you still see that adhesive under there? Just ever so slightly. Okay, I think I got that taken care of, and I think I'm going to make, you know what I'm going to do? She's not done yet. I'm going to double this. I want this to really have some good elevation. And as I shared early on in the making of this journal, I am here for the bulk. I'm fine if my book doesn't want to close. I really am. It's just good. It's just good, plain fun for me. And okay, so I'm not really sure about the heart. I might need to maybe add a little something behind it. It feels like to me it's kind of floating in midair a little bit, so it might need something behind it. I don't know for sure. Now I'm feeling afraid that maybe she made a faux pas here. But you know what? She's doing this. She's going to come, and I just feel like it needs a little bit of foundation behind it. Otherwise, it's just hanging out to dry. And I don't want that. And so I'm going to trim this guy up a little bit here and try not to completely cut him. I think I got him good. It's not really how I wanted that. I accidentally tore my other leaf off. So, and I'm kind of done with all my leaves. I don't really have any extra one. You know what I'm going to do? Yep, you guessed it. I believe I'm going to use this here. It's a little full, more full, I should say. I don't really need a lot of it. I know I have adhesive stuck there too. Oh, I think that's it. You know when you know. Okay, friends. Well, this is probably going to be the last entry of my journal that I'll share here, because we are going to turn our heart towards Christmas here. But that is how that page laid out. And for the most part, when you see it in the book, it's going to look just like this. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.